All right, hello, welcome to the weather update. It is 10:15. We're running a little late tonight. We'll talk about some of the rain we dealt with today. See, we had a little bit of a line of thunderstorms and showers come through, and we got a gusty shower right around, I would say, it was 6 o'clock or so. Uh, and we had the rain last for a while, so we got a little rain today. We'll take a look at those rainfall totals in a moment, and we'll show you these showers that came on through. So let's go to the radar right now. We'll rewind that radar and we'll show you what happened. So let's go back to 5 o'clock. You can see that there was a line approaching from New Jersey here. So here we go into 6 o'clock. You see the line start to break up, but there are a few pieces of heavier cells that kind of, there was still, and it was a gusty. This radar is a little misleading because that rain really came down heavy. It came down heavy and it was very wind-driven, and we had some decent wind gusts with these showers too. It's almost like you could consider like a squall. But the heaviest rains and thunderstorms were off to the north here, 7, and then moving out again over Long Island. There were a couple of other cells. Again, we'll look and see how much rain that was picked up along with those cells. But we'll show you the skies and what the skies look like. So before the storms hit, we had some sunshine. You could see the mid-level clouds there and some high clouds. And then right around, I would say, quarter to 6, these dark clouds started coming in. And then we had that rain, and then after that rain ended, as the rain was ending, we had some brilliant, and I mean brilliant skies with the sun coming up behind the clouds. You know you're always going to get a beautiful sunset sky when that happens. You can see that's exactly what it looks like. Really nice colors there in the sky. Very beautiful. Another picture right here. And we also had rainbow visible as well. So here you go. There's a nice look at the rainbow here. We had another picture of a rainbow in here too, I believe. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. So we know see a little faint rainbow there. So yeah, we got a little of that, what I like to call liquid gold, because it seems like we just haven't had much rain lately. But now, shifting gears, let's talk about Fiona. And Fiona has been terrible for Puerto Rico. You got floods. Most of Puerto Rico is still without power. The power grid is pretty much damaged from it. The transmission lines have been damaged because they run through the mountains and they're not properly, kept away. As I said in the other video, they're not properly kept away from the trees and the vegetation. And so therefore, you have an island-wide power outage, basically, because the power grid there is it's very third world. It's not, it doesn't even, even the worst power systems in the United States are better than what they have in Puerto Rico. And I feel my heart goes out to everybody there, as well as in the Dominican Republic, to deal with this horrible storm. And it's slow moving too. So let's get to the latest statistics on Maria right now. And you can see there are 2 other areas that they are watching as well. But let's talk about, did I say Maria? I meant Fiona. My mistake. I'm sorry. So public advisory. It is still strengthening. All right. So even though it is impacting land, this storm is still strengthening. Isn't that incredible? I've never seen that before. That's just another sign of what climate change is doing. So it says it's still producing heavy rainfall and life-threatening flash flooding in eastern portions of the Dominican Republic. So at 8 p.m., its location 20.2 north, 70.1 west, about 130 miles southeast of Grand Turk Island. Maximum sustained winds 105 miles an hour. That's right, it's up to 105. Moving northwest at 10 miles an hour. Minimum torrential pressure 974 millibars to 8.76 inches. And the extent of the hurricane force winds is at, let's see what it is. They extend out up to 30 miles from the center. On tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 140 miles from the center. So when we look at our warning cone map here, you'll see that we have hurricane watches and for part of the Dominican Republic, and it looks like hurricane warnings for, it looks like, one of the other islands there, perhaps in Bermuda. And this is going to be a major hurricane, and it's going to stay a major hurricane. Look at that. That's because courtesy of all those warm waters. Look at that. It's going to impact Newfoundland as a hurricane. Has that ever happened? This is all part of what we're talking about here with climate change. And we also have to talk about Alaska getting the remnants from a typhoon. That's right. We'll have to talk about that as well. But let's first look at some satellite images of Fiona. So let's go to the storms here, and we're going to go and look at Fiona right now. So here's Fiona. Look at that. That thing is strengthening. Now that it's out over the water and no land, it's going to really strengthen. And this thing's going to explode. I think this could be a Cat 5. You can see it's definitely heading for some of the westernmost Bahamas of the. I think these are the Bahamas over here, or the Virgin Islands or something like that. So yeah, this is a monster of a storm here. If we look at it here, you see again that perfect symmetry of the eye, and you can see that tightening and that convection all around. This is a storm that is really going to now really explode. It's crazy that it was strengthening all, it was interacting with these land masses. Now that it's out over water, this thing is going to just take off like a rocket, and that's what we're going to see. And if we look at the track here, you can see all the tracks. At least the models agree on where this thing is going. But if you're anywhere from Newfoundland, even Nova Scotia, you need to watch this. All right, so it's crazy that it's going this far north, and that's again because of those warm ocean water temperatures. If we go to earthnullschool.net here, and we just look at sea surface temperature anomaly here, sea surface temperature anomaly, you'll see you got above normal temperatures in the Atlantic, and well above around Nova Scotia and New Brunswick and Newfoundland. So that is going to support this storm that far north, and Bermuda also has to watch out for it as well. So now that we're done talking about Fiona, and we're going to see effects from the waves, and we'll get more into that tomorrow night. Let's talk about the other thing that's going on, and that's the Alaska typhoon. That's right, a typhoon hit Alaska. That's right, a typhoon hit Alaska. Can you believe that? That's right. And that is really incredible. Yeah, we had a typhoon wind up hitting Alaska. So we have to go back here. If we go to the MODIS satellite, I guess we'll have to go to the MODIS satellite here so we can see this. And there was a lot of flooding. And let's see if we can find, go back here. We'll look to see where this typhoon was. And see, oh, there it is. Yep, that's it right there. So, yeah, it's an actual remnant of a typhoon. Follow this thing. It actually went all the way from, we're going back to 17. Look at this. Here it is. All right, look at it. September 13th, 14th, 15th. Goes right into Alaska. I did not know. Look at that's a typhoon. How does that stay a typhoon that far north? You know, that's just crazy right there. So now I'm going to have to go and look at some of the odds. So it hit around September 16th, September 17th in parts of Alaska, and that's going to bring a lot of tropical air into the Arctic. That's not good for the ice at all. So I'm going to actually want to go look at some of the observations from this area and see September 17th, and maybe we can get some observations and see what the conditions were like here. So it looks like Nome, places like Nome, Fairbanks. So let's go and take a look at Nome. Yeah, let's take a look at Nome, Alaska, and see if we can find some observations here from when this thing hit, and just see what it was like. We have to go all the way back to the 17th. Yeah, it got up to 50. Oh, yeah, look at these wind gusts, 56, 51. You can see that there, but that's pretty substantial right there. 51, that's pretty substantial. All right, it's not showing that much rainfall, so I guess they didn't really get the heavier part of it. But let's go and look at... with everything else going on, I forgot about this. You know, I mean, it's like there's so many different storms to track, and you know, you'll have to forgive me, and I'm sorry for that. So let's go look at Fairbanks and see what happened here at Fairbanks. They're a little further south. Let's see if they got into the effects of this at all. Oh, that's inland. I don't see any effects here at Fairbanks from it. But I know certain parts of Alaska, they got hit hard. I know Juneau. I don't know how to spell it. Juneau. I don't know how to spell Juneau. Let's just go back to... Let's go to Alaska typhoon again, and we're just going to have to look at the news articles here and see. Oh, Anchorage. Anchorage is the city that got hit. Okay, so it's Anchorage that got hit. Okay. That's the city that got hit. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It's still pretty windy. So let's see. Let's see what the conditions they got there. The wind gusts don't seem too bad. Let's see how much rain they got. It doesn't look like they got that much, though. I don't know. We're trying to find the area that got hit hard. But, you know, we'll go to these news reports and we'll see what we have here. So, look at this. Western Alaska floodwaters recede. This is we have here. Let's see. Read more. The remnants of a massive Pacific typhoon. It was the remnants, but still, I mean, that's remarkable. That battered a 1,000-mile stretch of western Atlanta, Alaska, dissipated Sunday morning with floodwaters dropping in communities. So it said the worst is over, but there was a flooding, telecommunications outages, damages to buildings, and I'm sure there are power outages too as well. This is the move North Sunday. Look at that. That's pretty incredible. No additional reports. Water levels north of the Bering Strait were expected to recede. It was what's left of Typhoon Merbach. So it formed rather farther east in the Pacific than where the storms typically appear. So yeah, it's mostly small town areas, I guess, that got hit. All right, Nome, yeah, these are the areas that got hit. Nome, Galvin, yeah, these are the areas that got hit with it. So the western Alaska, but that's pretty far north. That's disturbing, and you know they have permafrost over there, so that's going to thaw from this. This is incredible. Look at that. This is Alaska. All right. So, you know, I'm going to put this article in the description below because there's a lot of stuff going on here that we got to talk about with the weather and just many natural disasters, multiple natural disasters, as we deal with the consequences of climate change. But don't tell that to Wall Street because they decided to have fun today. So let's go down to the models now, and we'll go and take a look at our weather. And again, let's go to the weather and hazards here, and we'll take a look at what we got currently going on outside. So you'll see here, dew points are dropping. It was kind of humid earlier and warmer, but we had a bit of a weak cool front come through, and that was with that little squall that we had. So let's take a look and see what things were like at Farmingdale Airport today. And you'll see it was pretty warm today. We got into the 80s and humid too. But then when this front came through, this line of showers, wind shifted to the west, and the dew point started dropping. Unfortunately, it does not look like much rain fell at Farmingdale, which is not something I'm happy about at all. Let's see how hot it was we'll just look at the high temperatures today. Then we'll go to the other map and we'll look at the precipitation. So let's go look at your high temperatures today, and you'll see, yeah, we got into the mid-80s today. It was kind of warm. There was some sea breezes, but didn't help that much. Upper 80s in the city, and upper 80s in Jersey as well. Pretty hot in Jersey, even right along the water there. So if you wanted to be cool today, you had to be on the South Shore or the East End or in air conditioning. So let's go now to the underground map, and we'll see if we can get some more precipitation reports, some rainfall reports for you. And probably ain't much out there. We did get a shower, but it really wasn't very much at all. Yeah. 0.01, barely anything. It was some of the heavier areas. It looked like there was one around Massapequa got 0.13. I mean, yeah, this is just barely anything. Yeah, look at that, showing zeros out east. So yeah, barely anything. Well, it looks like Eastport got 0.03. So yeah, it just kind of broke up. But if you go into Connecticut, where there was a little more, they got closer to a quarter of an inch. But all in all, very disappointing with the rainfall. Once again, as we remain in this drought. And now I want to go to the Climate Prediction Center, and we'll go and take a look at our climate, our 8 to 10, our 6 to 10 and 8 to 10 day. 6 to 10 day does have us below normal because we're going to have a cool down by the end of the week. Precipitation, they have near normal, slightly above, but we'll have to see about that. 8 to 14, we start going in near normal again because I didn't bring that up yesterday. So when we look at what's going to be happening, this little front is going to move away. Weak high pressure builds in for tomorrow, and Wednesday brings somewhat drier air. There's Fiona, luckily getting picked up by the trough, and we have a cold front coming through on Thursday. That would be our next chance of rain. And then this big high pressure system is going to build in, give us beautiful weather Friday and Saturday, and much, much cooler weather. And maybe looks like there are a couple of chances for rain, and look like it's forming another system there. So we'll have to see, but we'll get more into that tomorrow. So let's go talk about the northeast, and we'll take a look at our weather. And again, as far as precipitation goes, yeah, there won't be any more chances. Maybe a slight chance out east tomorrow. It's very slight. The bigger chances would be as we get toward Wednesday night to Thursday, but it still doesn't look all that impressive. So let's go take a look at our dew points, and you will see the dew points are dropping and will be tomorrow. We'll have lower dew points generally in the upper 50s, so less humid, not largely, not very, very dry, but definitely a lot better than we've been dealing with. You'll see northwest winds. There won't be a sea breeze tomorrow. Wednesday, we have north winds, then they start to shift over to the south, but the dew points stay low until we start seeing that wind shift to the south. Then you're going to start seeing that moisture come up ahead of that cold front. So let's go look at the temperatures. And for your temperatures, you'll see here we are. It's probably not going to drop all that much tonight, maybe low 60s. For Tuesday, we'll probably get up to around 80, so we'll be above normal again. And then dropping into the 60s, maybe some 50s by Wednesday morning. So we might actually have some 50s, some of that radiation cooling, which of course I'm not going to be able to enjoy. And then for Wednesday, you'll see we are going to be a little bit cooler with it looks like upper 70s. But the big change comes on Thursday. So if we look at the GFS here and we go back to the dew points here, you'll see that as we get toward Thursday, you see that surge of moisture come up, and then boom, here comes the dry air coming in by the afternoon. Dew points drop very quickly into the 40s. North winds, very gusty too. Northwest winds on Friday, very gusty. Very low dew points, mid-30s. If we don't get much rain with this front, we may have to worry about wildfire risk. And then the winds sort of die back a little bit on Saturday. Still northwest winds, low humidity. And then as we get towards Sunday, you'll start seeing the winds become more southerly again, and humidity increases by Monday. I'm not going to go any further than that. So let's go look at the temperatures here. And you'll see here on the temperature chart that, again, here is Wednesday, Tuesday here. So Tuesday and Wednesday will be above normal. We'll see probably again. GFS is a little warmer, so I'm thinking 75 to 80 on Wednesday. It's Thursday that we see the change. Once that front comes through, probably temperatures will probably drop through the 70s. And then by evening, Friday morning, we'll be in the 50s, maybe the 40s. And maybe with that wind finally blowing some of that cool air into my alley, I can finally give the air conditioner a rest. And then for Friday, look at that. We're only in the upper 60s to around 70. So that's going to be very cool. And then here we are. Same thing for Saturday. Maybe upper 60s to around 70. Very nice. Very September-like, finally. And then we start seeing things start warming up by Sunday. Now we'll go and look at our skies. And here we are for our skies tomorrow. I think we're going to have a good deal of sunshine according to this model. And I don't see much smoke, so I don't think we'll be dealing with that. I'd have to look at the MODIS. Oh, got to go to the MODIS now. All right, so we see any smoke. All right, this is September 17th. I got to go today. This is September. I don't see any smoke here, so I think we're done dealing with the smoke, which is good. And I don't see that much of it out west, so good riddance to the smoke. And so tomorrow we should have some blue skies. And then for Wednesday, also I think plenty of sunshine. Thursday is going to be the day we're going to have the clouds and the rain chances early on, then clearing out. And then Friday we should have mostly sunny skies. And then Saturday, maybe starting off mostly sunny, then we might see some of the increasing high clouds there. So let me go to the RGEM, which is the other model we can use for our skies. And you'll see tomorrow, you'll see a good deal of sunshine. Now, I think there could be some cumulus clouds perhaps popping up. Looks like more so on Long Island, but maybe a few in New Jersey too. And then for Wednesday, we'll have sunshine, maybe a little bit of cirrus around. And then it's Thursday that we'll be dealing with more of those clouds with that front. But then after that front passes, we clear out again, and we're going to have some really nice fall-like weather. It's about time. I just wish we could get some more rain. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night.